I knew that I wanted to be in media because I used to charge my family to watch me perform in the living room. When I turned 9, like I said earlier, my parents split. So at the time, that wasn't very common. And for my 30th birthday, I'm going to fly Dad into the country. The 3 of us are going to have dinner, and you're going to tell me what went wrong. My father had remarried again, and I felt, I was like, this man again is now chasing me from his life. He can't deal with me. I introduced myself as Keturah. A lot of people butcher my name from spelling it to pronouncing it. So growing up, I was always called K. And I think my parents did that to make it easier for people to sort of say my name. But you know, now as an adult, you can't just say, oh, hi, I'm K, hi, I'm K. So yeah, I just introduced myself as Keturah. And then I have my fingers crossed that the person I'm talking to doesn't know me, because then it leads into, oh, hey, Keturah, oh. And then I'm like, yeah, it's me. Keturah is a media personality, radio and TV voiceover artist as well. She is a young entrepreneur as well. She's a mother of 1. So I do quite a lot of things. I'm not afraid to try new things. I think that's something I had to learn over the years. I think it was before COVID, or was it after COVID? Again, that was quite a crazy year. I had swollen lymph nodes, so I wasn't taking care of my voice, in that I'd go out and I'd be, you know, screaming and cheering and, you know, having the time of my life. And then I'd just, I'd wake up like this. So I discovered that even though I want to go out, doesn't mean I should scream at the top of my lungs. So what I do is I really take a lot of tea. I don't drink coffee. You know, somebody's gonna watch this and be like, oh, how dare you not drink coffee? Yeah, I don't drink coffee. I don't like it, actually. But I take tea. I take a lot of tea, ginger, lemon, honey. I really prefer that. And room temperature water. I can't do very cold water. That's how I take care of my voice. I don't shout. But there are times when I notice, if I'm fatigued, my voice is the first indication that I'm exhausted. So I like to nap, I like to rest. So that's ways in how I take care of my voice, yeah. So I grew up as an only child for 9 years, and I'll explain what I mean by that. My father and my late mom only had me as their biological child. And then around the age of 9, my parents split. They had a divorce. And so my father remarried, and it was quite interesting because he remarried a woman who had 4 children from her previous relationship. And so it was like 4 against 1. So I was like, how will I navigate this? But it was quite interesting because I moved from hating them, and we laugh about it now. We all hated each other, with the exception of our youngest brother. We all just didn't like each other. You know, I think it was a transition for us to move from me being the only child, me now accepting that I'm the 3rd born. I'm like, how is that possible? I'm a princess. You know, what I want, I will get. And now, you know, having to wait. But it was quite a transition accepting them as my siblings. And once I did, we've never called each other step siblings. That's something we have refused to say, oh, that's my stepbrother, that's my stepsister. And only because of the message around step parents or step siblings. It's, you know, we read Cinderella and, you know, the wicked stepmother and wicked stepsisters. And for me, I didn't want that to be the case with my siblings. So we are 5 of us. And I'm the firstborn, but also the 3rd born. And I come from a blended family. I call us the smoothie family because we're so blended. And what I mean by that is I have a really big family on both sides. So my dad's side, the Mdongas, it's a big family. It's growing. It's growing. Then on my mom's side, the Mukandos, a big family as well. So combined, And then, my dad had to remarried. So that family as well, a big family. So for me, it was quite an adjustment, and then obviously when my and this is just for reference purposes to understand the story, when my dad and my stepmom divorced, it was quite challenging as well for us as the siblings, because we're like, what are we gonna do now? Like, we have to live in separate homes, mom will go with the four of them and then dad will go with me. And so that was another transition as well. So it was quite interesting to adapt. And obviously this happened at different stages of my life. But it was quite a challenge to now say, now I don't get to see my siblings every morning. We don't get to fight or argue, especially my brother. When he turned, we're a few months apart. So when we turned, just after we had turned 16, he got obsessed with anime. And so now he taught himself Japanese. And now, he was practicing martial arts on me. I was always the victim of his practice. And I was like, you know what? And we've grown up now, but that's basically my childhood. And I was born in Lusaka, UTH in 1995. But then January of 1997, my father and mother relocated to Johannesburg, South Africa. So my siblings are South African. So I've grown up in South Africa. And that's really all I knew for my entire life, the South African culture. But I knew a bit of the Zambian culture, except I really had a wake-up call when I came back in 2015. It was a cultural shift, so to say. I had to adapt yet again and change and learn more about my roots. I'm Tumbuka. So imagine growing up and only knowing how to say Mwaukauri, And so I had to learn isiZulu and Setswana and Afrikaans to be able to adapt in the environment that I was living, which is South Africa. And I don't know if you remember, there was a point in South Africa where for the first time I heard of something called xenophobia. And I was like, what is this? I've never, what do you mean? It's fear of foreigners. What do you mean by that? And so I just, had to adapt, and I learned the language very quickly. I can still speak it to date, but it was just like, I still need to learn my mother tongue, And that's what the past 10 years of me being back home have been like. So growing up was quite interesting. I've done every kind of schooling that there is, and I'll explain if you want me to. I've been homeschooled. I've been in boarding school. I've been in private school. I've been in government school. So I've done it all. Before online learning was a thing, I did online learning, But it's been quite an interesting childhood. And I think from the time I was, maybe 5 or 6, I knew that I wanted to be in media because I used to charge my family to watch me perform in the living room. So I would put on little shows. There's one particular memory I have of my uncle. He traveled in from Serenje, and we were staying in Villa, and the bus broke down, and he was supposed to have reached home by 18. And I told him, I said, Uncle, I've been waiting the whole day for you. I'm not going to sleep until you come. So that's when cell phones started just, coming out. So he used somebody's cell phone, he called the landline. And so they're like, oh no, he's going to delay. I did not sleep that night. I said, I have to. I've been practicing and practicing. He got into the house at midnight, and I made everybody sit down. My grandmother, my late mom, I made them, sit down. I'm like, you guys are going to watch me perform, okay? And you have to pay me, right? And so they paid me, and the show began. I had a cooking stick, and I said, welcome to the Keturah show. And today our special guest is Uncle Keturah. And he was just like, oh, I just arrived, Keturah, please. But that's really when I knew that media was, was for me. I wanted to be in front of a camera, behind a camera, in front of a mic. I just wanted everything to do with radio and TV. and entertainment. That's when really my love for that, and that's kind of how I grew up. I was very chatty. I'm able to listen to some accents and try and, replicate them, but I did that for fun growing up. So I think really that's where it all began. I just wanted to know how to get into character, how to do that. School plays as well. I wasn't afraid to do that. I played in the Sound of Music at my school here, Sunshine School, and it was the best experience of my life at the Lusaka Playhouse. I mean, to have that audience looking at you. And then I think we had a wardrobe malfunction. I lost my shoes, the backstage, and so I had to wear really big shoes, and so the audience thought it was comical, and I carried myself with such grace. But that experience was so fun, so exciting. I mean, I've never been after, school, I've never been on a stage other than, to act or anything like that. But all of that, I was very interested in just entertaining and putting a smile on people's faces. And that's really how it got started. And I mean, the TV side of it, yeah. And this is where the love of radio comes in. When I turned 9, like I said earlier, my parents split. So at the time, that wasn't very common. I didn't have anyone around me to share the experience. My friends, I would ask them if they knew what divorce was, and they were like, I don't know what divorce is. So I didn't have any friend that could relate to what I was going through. And so it was quite difficult to navigate that, because I was like, it doesn't make sense, right? Because again, being raised on the Word of God, I knew that divorce is a bad thing. It shouldn't happen, right? But obviously I was young. I didn't need to know the details of why my parents, went through a divorce. But that really changed a lot of things for me. It changed how I saw marriage as a whole. I really was afraid of marriage. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do the whole marriage thing. Because what's the point? People get married and have children and then decide, oh, we don't want to do this anymore. And so I was really against it. And for almost 2 years, I became very quiet. So from growing up to being this chatty little girl, I went into a shell. I was no longer daddy's little girl. I, very much gravitated towards my mom because I was like, it's unfair. I was young, but obviously it was always like, no, you're young, you understand when you're older. And I didn't want to wait until I was older to understand, but I did eventually understand. And so I look back at that time, it was very sad because when I went for counseling, I wasn't speaking in the counseling sessions or the therapy sessions. It was like 1 hour of me just looking at the therapist. And I was like, you're not going to offer me solutions, And so my therapist made a diagnosis that I was depressed, right? And I was like, again, a new word, what is depression, right? And so it was very challenging to be that young, experience such heavy emotions, but not know where to take those emotions. And that's where radio came in and did amazing things for me. My parents, on their wedding, were gifted a radio. And so I was living with my dad at the time in the midst of the transition. And so I would ask him, like, Dad, can I be listening to the radio? And so I would go into my room and the music would just be playing and I would hear these personalities on radio, just so smooth, so eloquent, so playing all my favorite songs at the right time. And I used to start what we call in radio back announcing the songs. So for example, if it was Nelly and Kelly Rowland Dilemma, I would just turn down the volume and then sort of announce the song and say, oh, that was music from Kelly Rowland and Nelly, Dilemma. And I would just have all these conversations with myself. But that was really, I would say, the saddest moment of my childhood, navigating that, yeah. Growing up, I had conversations with my late mom, and I've had conversations with my dad. You know, I used to joke with my mom, and I'll tell her, I said, listen, for my 30th birthday, I'm going to fly dad into the country. The three of us are going to have dinner, and you're going to tell me what went wrong. You know, just jokingly. And when I was 27, 28, I had, I think, one of the best conversations with my father. You know, he explained certain things to me, which really did, you know, lighten the burden for me to say, okay, they did have a good marriage. I just, you know, I was just young, you know, so I think in my mind, I forgot even the good moments that they had that I saw as a child growing up. I was just like, all I remember is them not being together anymore and me now having to jump from house to house and then having a new mother and new siblings and all of that. But when we sat down and had that heart-to-heart, I think also that mended my relationship with my father, because for a long time, him and I, we had our issues. I felt like he abandoned me, which he didn't. And it was quite a transition for him as well. But as a kid, you want all the attention to yourself. And then suddenly you have to share. I think it would have been different if, you know, my mom was having a baby and then they walked me through to say, oh, you're having a baby brother or a baby sister. But it was just like, boom, 4 new siblings, fully grown already. And it was a shock to my system. But I think now I am at a point where marriage is not, I think when I look back, I was scared of divorce, not necessarily marriage. That was the thing I was afraid of. And I'm still very much, not afraid, but I'm very much, I don't want to ever get divorced. And if you come into my life and you think that we're not going to work things out and that divorce is though you have picked the wrong one, I tell you. But for me, it's just, I understand now that I'm older. There's certain grounds for divorce, you know, if you're being abused in the relationship, if there's emotional neglect, financial neglect, those things, you know. But if it's just you have had a disagreement, divorce, you don't just say, oh no, you know what, I'm going back to my mother and father's house because I can't do this. You have to put in the work. And so for me, that did change significantly, having that heart-to-heart with my father. And also it brought us closer as father and daughter. So it has changed now. So to just being Keturah and now being a mother, it was quite an interesting transition. So I came back to Zambia in 2015, and I had applied to my dream university, and I wanted to go to the University of Wits. And I was like, I have to go. I have to study film and television. I have to. And then I received the email, we regret to inform you. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep trying. And I just kept hitting certain, you know, obstacles, you know, and my father was like, you know what? Go to Zambia, see what's there, and then we'll talk after a few months. I felt, because at this point, my father had remarried again, and I felt, I was like, this man again is now chasing me from his life. He can't deal with me, you know, all of these things. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to Zambia, but he said I'll be back in 5 months, so whatever. I was 19, so I was like, I'll be back, you know. Even told all my friends, I was like, don't worry guys, it's just a few months, I'll be back. Left literally everything. I just carried a suitcase. My dad was looking at me at the airport, he's like, have you carried enough? Are you sure? I'm like, what do you mean? I'll be back in 5 months, it's okay. And so I got here, and he sent me a text a few months into my stay here. And he said, you should try internship at Hot FM. And I said, oh, okay. Okay. Why? I was like, just give it a try. I used to listen to them here, and when streaming platforms just came out. And so very quickly did the interview with Mr. Oscar Chavula. I've never waited that long for an interview. I was there at 9, and I had the interview close to 15 hours, and I was just waiting. And so did the interview, and he said, okay, you know what? You'll start in November. And that was that. I started November 2015. And again, because I already did love radio, I just wanted to be behind the scenes. But then a couple months into my internship and, having been put on the payroll, I was very surprised. I started to feel funny. And I was like, maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's, and I was living with my sisters, and they're like, are you sure you're not pregnant? And I said, no, I'm not, I was very confident because I didn't know that in the first trimester you can spot. So I was like, I've been spotting. So I feel like, little did I know that there was a human being growing inside of me. And I only found out about my son at 5 months. So I was 20 weeks pregnant. I was skinny and super flat. So I was like, just losing weight because I'm stressed. But that wasn't the case. And so very quickly, because the man I was with at the time, my son's father, I was very certain that, this was the man that I was going to marry, And I was very certain that we were going to have a future together. But then when I told him, about the pregnancy, the reaction was very different. And so again, that fear from childhood, I was like, yeah, maybe this is why. And I told myself I'm going to do it by myself. I was scared, very scared. Obviously having to deal with the disappointment of, your family and, them telling you, why did you do this? Why didn't you wait? But my son is the biggest blessing of my life. And I know people say this, people say, oh, my child is a blessing, but really it is. I see God in my son, and I experience God through my son. What I mean by that, even from the day that he was born, I gave birth by myself. And what I mean by that is I told myself when to push, when not to push. I had no medical assistance. I gave birth on the floor of UTH. It was a very traumatic experience. And in that moment, all I could hear was God telling me what to do and what not to do. And I gave birth to my son. He came out healthy. I was scared because I was like, what if I did something wrong? What if I pushed when I was not supposed to? But all of that was me seeing God's grace in my life and just how much he loves me, because just childbirth on it by itself, whether with medical staff, is traumatic. The body goes into shock. And for me, having to do that by myself, and the lady that came to help me afterwards, the nurse, I've forgotten her name, but every year that my son gets older, I remember her, how she quickly came to my assistance and shouted at everybody who was on that floor. And, she quickly took care of me. That experience, just going through that alone was, I only told my mom months later what I actually went through in the labor ward, because I didn't want to scare her. I didn't want to worry her, but it was quite an experience. And my son, now he's turning 10 this year. He's quite an interesting character. He's sometimes my big brother. Sometimes he wants to be my friend. He'll reprimand me, Mom, you said that you were going to be home at this time, and what happened? He's taught me accountability in the most interesting of ways. Even with finances, I would want to go. I'm like, whoo, I have some extra cash. Let me go. Then he'll be like, remember that you said you were going to And I'm like, okay, right, you know. He's literally mirroring the lessons that I've taught him. But being a mom and moving from hoping to be raising a child in a family with a father, mother, that kind of structure, to adjusting to being a single mom was quite difficult for me. It's not what I wanted for myself. And then I had to adjust now to co-parenting. You know, co-parenting means there are certain areas where I have to let his father be his father, even if, you know, we have our own challenges. But it's been almost a decade now, and there have been some very challenging moments, but also some really wonderful moments in parenting that for me, I think have made me a better human. I think becoming a mom has made me kinder to people and more understanding of people. And also not judging other parenting styles. I know we do that as parents, say, that's not a way to raise a child. But when you sit and you say, what if I'm also not doing it the right way? You know, when your child misbehaves, or you get a call from the teacher to say, oh, they were fighting, or you tend to ask yourself to say, okay, let me introspect. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How can I do better? And that's what, you know, motherhood has taught me, and parenting as a whole. It's challenging. It's the most challenging job in the world, but also the most rewarding. And I know it might sound confusing, but when you see that the lessons that you have instilled in your child come out, and you see them be kind to other people, you see them talk to their elders with respect, those are the rewarding moments. Like I said, I wanted to just learn about radio. I wasn't interested in being in front of the mic just yet. I wanted to learn, what does it take to put together a radio show? I would look at the Red Hot Breakfast, and I'm like, what does it take for the Red Hot Breakfast to be the Red Hot Breakfast? And that's where I started in the content department. I was trained by Keturah, and she was the head of content at the time. And so I still, at the office, they still laugh at me. My very first day, I was overdressed. I was in a jacket, and, you know, I did my hair to the side. I was very serious, very serious. But all I wanted to do was learn. What does it take to put together a radio show? And not just any radio show, the best radio show. And so fast forward into my internship, and there in the office, and then Flavor comes in, and he had nobody to have a conversation with on air about what he was talking about. And then he's like, Keturah, what are you doing? And I'm like, just, you know, putting together some content. He's like, okay, come quickly. So I thought maybe the content I had submitted to him, something was wrong. So I'm panicking. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, no, sit down. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And at this point, my legs were like shaking, right? So my upper body was very calm, you know, but my legs was like, what is going on? Why am I here? Why? And then Flavor starts talking. He back announces a song. And then he goes, I have a lady with me in studio, and I just I'm like, are we live right now? And then we have this conversation, and it just flows. And then the late Zakadocious comes in and goes, who was that on radio? And then Flavor goes, it was Keturah. And he goes, that was you? And now I'm panicking. I'm like, oh my gosh, as an intern, you're not supposed to be on radio. What's going on? They're like, oh, okay, all right. And then he says, she needs training. And I'm like, for what? What am I being trained for? And so that's how I got into radio. I got into radio the same time as Peasy, and we've been close. He's my big brother. And to see that, so I start doing the show, and then Kaliwa lost his voice, right? Like, he couldn't talk for months. He was just told, you need to rest your voice. And then I get a text one day to say, oh, Kaliwa will be back next week. and we want the two of you to do the show. Now, I'm like, excuse me, you want a legend and an amateur to do the show together? I thought it was a setup. I'm like, they just want me to fail. I was like, yeah, this is how it ends. This is a plot to just, and so I text Kaliwa. Keep in mind, I had met him prior, obviously, because he was in the building. And so I texted him, I'm like, hey, I just heard we're doing the show together. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be great. In my head, I'm like, will it? And so we do the first show together and instant chemistry. I mean, I was like, why does it feel like I've known this person my whole life? And it was just amazing. I remember he was the third person I told when I found out I was pregnant, you know? And I was like, I don't know how this show is gonna go, but he was very big brother, and he's like, you've got this, you know what I mean? And so we started on drive time, then we went to lunchtime, and it was just, we really had an amazing time. I think the 3 hours, Monday to Friday, were like therapy sessions, you know, especially for me. I was going through a lot and I needed to do a lot of healing. And he was there. He was my big brother, you know. He would call me and be like, Keturah, there's a bine. We need to, you know, there's like a something, let's go. And it was just an honor to be mentored and taught by somebody like that. Kaliwa was always a friendly guy, always. I mean, I never saw him have beef with anybody. No one. Like, he was a ball of energy. How I know this? I was 8 months pregnant and I'm tired, I'm exhausted now. And the moment I would enter the booth and Kaliwa would just start talking and his high energy, come on, my offspring would also be, and I'm like, guys, the both of you, please stop it. I'm tired, you know? And that's how my radio journey really started. And to date, I'm honored to have been taught by Kaliwa, because now, as a mentor in radio, surprise, surprise, I'm now a mentor. The lessons that he taught me are lessons that I'm carrying on to the next generation. And it's really just, it's an honor. It's an honor. It's still, there are days where it feels surreal that he's not here. I remember being so angry with him when I saw the message that he had passed. I was so angry with him. I was like, why? You know? But he was one of the best things to ever happen to me. And I'm grateful to God that I got to, you know, live in a time, Kaliwa Luvasi, the Black Stallion, you know what I mean? Yeah, it doesn't get easier. That's the thing with grief. You think that one day, oh, okay, I'm okay. And then there are moments, you know, I have those moments on air sometimes, you know, where I want to say something, but then I'm like, you know. Yeah, but it was wonderful being his friend, being his little sister. My mom was my best friend. In that, when I look back at some of the things that we went through and seeing her adjust to life as a single mom after the divorce, my mom was the sweetest person. And when I say sweet, I mean like sweet, an actual sweetheart. Very prayerful. And also, she would embrace people and she would never judge anyone. You know, she would hear, oh no, this person has gone through this or whatever. And immediately she says, oh, I need to pray for them. That was my mom. My mom was a firm believer in Jesus Christ. And even until the day she passed on, you know, her faith never staggered. You know, she was firm, you know. And And when she moved back to Zambia, just a few months after I moved back to Zambia, I was like, this transition will be easier. I have my mom here, you know? And so we moved in together, we found a cute place, and the baby came, and, you know, it was also around that time that her health started to decline. But my mom was the kind of woman who, yes, she would be sweet, very kind, but also very firm at the same time. When you've done wrong, she will tell you, and she would tell me, Keturah, here you're wrong, and you need to do better here. And this month actually marks 5 years since she passed. And I remember the day that we took her to the hospital. I had just been put on the Red Hot Breakfast. I'd just been put on the breakfast show. And I think it was 2 weeks into my time on the show, and then she got sick. I remember her telling me like, oh, you need to go for work. This is a new position, you know, it's a new challenge for you, and you need to take it with both hands. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to go to work. You're not well, you know, I need to take care of you. But she would push me. She would tell me, don't be afraid. And it's actually the both of them, even growing up, you know, that was, I think, their parenting style, my mom and dad. Don't be afraid to go out there and try something. And so the day she passed was quite a strange day. The night before, I spoke to her, and she was like, I'm just tired. But it sounded different. It wasn't oh, I'm tired, I'll be okay in the morning. I think because of the health challenges she was having, I really do think she was like, I'm just tired and I need to rest now, you know? And so I remember that morning, she had wanted dried fish. She was like, I just want dried fish in Shima. And the area that we live, there's always dried fish. But that particular day, we couldn't find any. And I was just feeling strange the whole morning. And I got to the hospital just after 13, and she had just passed away. As in, I touched her face and her face was still warm. And so that for me changed a lot of things, because I was still learning how to be a woman from her. I was still learning how to be a mother from her. I was still learning how to be a child of God. I still needed spiritual guidance, and I got that a lot from my mom. And so when she passed, that changed a lot of things for me. I had questions for God, you know? I was like, she loved you. Why couldn't she get better? Why did she only have this amount of time? Why couldn't she see her grandchild, you know, go to school? Why, you know? And it was hard to accept. It was hard to, you know, not walk into my house and not hear my mom's voice. Always the first voice. It was like her and my son, they would plan it. It would always be her and then him. And so I felt like with motherhood, once my mom passed, I felt like I don't want to have another child after this, because mom is not here. Who will help me after the baby gets here? You know, a mother's care and love is something that is so important, you know? And I remember someone telling me, no, at least, you know, you lost your mom when you were, and I said, no, don't tell me that. Even if I was 50 years old, it would still hurt, because that's my mom, you know? So losing her in that year, I mean, I lost her and Kaliwa in the same year. And so it was just, my heart was broken that year. So, yeah. So beyond the voice that you hear on radio, obviously my voice is my moneymaker. My face now is my moneymaker. But my friends and I, friends who I met at Hot FM, and we've been, we've just been like this. We have a company. It's an events company, and it kind of just, you know, we're all interested in the same thing, but then we didn't realize that, oh, you have this strength, you have this strength, and you have this strength. Let's get together. And so my friend Delphine came to us with a proposal and said, guys, let's start doing this. It's female-led. We're the three of us, myself, Delphine, and Exilda. We run an events company. It's called Produce Her Events. Play on words there. So producer, but produce her. And so we kind of just got started, you know, and we realized that, oh, wow, we're really good at this. And it's great to do something with the people that you love and care for. Yeah, there are moments we don't see eye to eye. I mean, it's business. We have different ideas. But the great thing about a solid foundation and a solid friendship is that we can always come back to each other and say, okay, how best can we handle this? So we do decor for different events. Name your event, we will do it. But it's been interesting because I never thought I was the business type, you know? I always felt like, hey, this thing of taxes and what and shiny, but here I am. You know, I embraced it with both hands, and I'm really grateful to be doing it with two of the girls who are part of my very, very intimate circle. We are doing something this July, and it's really, you know, for us, the three of us, we are a group that prays together. You know, we've seen each other through the highs and lows of life, and we want to be able to encourage other women to not seek solace in man, but to seek solace in God. And I know it might feel like it's easier to go to your best friend or to go to your workmate and say, oh, this is what I'm going through. But when we as women gather, when we gather to pray, there's a shift that happens. And so we're doing an event this coming July. It's called Cozy in Christ. And it's really just a pajama party. You know, girls coming together to praise God, to thank Him, to worship Him, to be inspired by women who've walked the path ahead of us, to discuss the challenges, to discuss marriage, finances, and everything. And this is one of the biggest events that we're going to do. We're relatively new in the market, but it's great that when we entered the market, we reached out to, I'll call him our big brother in the events company, Nkisu Ikona, HK. So we reached out to him and we said, bro, listen, we want to learn. You've been doing this for so long. We just want to learn. I believe that this particular industry, there's enough for everybody to go around. And so who better than somebody to show us and say, listen, these are some of the tips I can give you. And not even in a competitive way, genuinely, like, because he even called us the other day, like, hello, what? I'm not hearing anything. What's going on? And we're like, oh no, we're working with. He's like, okay, good. Keep at it. Don't give up. And it's good to have such people in the industry that want to see you progress. Because there's always this PhD syndrome. You know, oh, they're doing an event, fine. I'll also do it, and mine will be shiny better. But to have people who want to see you progress, it's beautiful. So we've done decor for a few intimate events. We recently did one for a baby shower, and we're growing. We're growing steadily but surely. And yeah, hi us. Give us a call. You can check us out on Facebook, Produce Her. That's produce.her events. And we're very quick in our responses. And you know, just let us know what event it is that you want us to do. I was telling the girls, I was like, listen, I think for my wedding. You know, they were like, no, we are on the lineup. What do you mean? I was like, okay, guys, all right. But really, any event, it's something we love to do. We're always up for a challenge. I think the three of us combined with our strengths is really something interesting. I mean, you have me as your MC as well. So we really we love what we do. It's something that when we went shopping, we'd be like, oh, this would look good here. And then that's really where, you know, it was birthed from. But yeah, check us out on Facebook, Producer Events, give us a call, and we would love to work with you. So the opportunity that I would love to give, if you are a young media personality, you want to go out there, you want to start your career in media, whether TV or radio, I would love to mentor you. So you can definitely get in touch with me, and let's you know, further the broadcasting industry, because the future definitely is bright. So for further details, you can contact me on the details down below. I am looking forward to mentoring you.
So Keturah, I have something for you. I have this cup. And as you were speaking about your story, it reminded me of a number of things you've gone through. You've basically been put in a lot of boiling water, too many things.
Yeah.
But eventually, just know that that has actually brought out the beauty in you.
I didn't mention it earlier, but I'm like...
And that's how you've made it in Zambia. You've actually made it. You don't have to be a multi-million, whatever billionaire. Just that.
Thank you.
So this is for you.
Thank you. Oh, this is so sweet. I need to give you a hug with the hot water.
With the hot water.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So always remember that this is what this cup must remind you. You know, it will look plain, life will look plain sometimes, ordinary, but the tough times that you've gone through, they've actually brought out the beauty in you.